As you start creating content, you want to think through what type of format you want to create in. You see, the type of format you choose is really going to dictate the amount of planning and prep and creation time that you're going to need to get this content ready. Now, all the major platforms tend to allow 3 main formats. Now, some of them are limited and only allow 1 or maybe 2 formats to be used, but there tend to be 3 formats of content that you can use to create. And understanding these different formats and understanding the pros and cons of each one will help you make a more educated decision of which content format to create in. The first one is text format. And this really is exactly what it sounds like. Your content is going to be text and text only. Now, the benefit of text-only content is that it tends to be the easiest to produce. You don't need any special tools. It doesn't take as much time. It's just you, a keyboard, or your mobile device getting your thoughts out into words. It is the easiest to produce. It also is the easiest to consume because you can consume text-only content anywhere, even if you're on the go. You can consume it while you're standing in line at the grocery store. You don't need headphones in. You don't need to block out other people or try to hide the images that you're looking at. You can consume text-only format anywhere. It also doesn't take a lot of data if you're on the go and you're not connected to Wi-Fi. You're not going to consume a lot of the data on your mobile device. The downside of text-only posts, though, is that you don't get as much organic reach. A lot of the platforms now are trying to push people towards producing either video or image posts because those tend to get a little bit more attention. And so text-only posts don't have as much organic reach on most of these platforms. It's also harder to grab people's attention with text only. You have to be an awesome copywriter if you are only using text to grab people's attention. Because as you're scrolling through a feed like on LinkedIn or Facebook, images and video are going to grab your attention more because they stand out more on the platform. So text only is a little bit harder to grab people's attention, especially people who you aren't connected with yet. There's also a limit to the amount of words that you can use in text-only posts. Now, in some ways, this is a benefit because it helps you to get your thoughts and make them a little bit more concise and be a better writer. So this is text-only posts. The next would be image format. Now, image format, there is the benefits of an image format is that it really does grab attention a little bit easier. And if you don't believe me, start scrolling through the feed of whatever platform you're on and see if a text only or an image post grabs your attention more. Images tend to grab our attention. It's also available on a wider range of platforms. See, a platform like Instagram, you can't do text-only format on. You have to have some kind of image, some kind of graphic to even post on that platform. Now, yes, you do have to have a text side to it as well, but you cannot just post text on Instagram. It has to be an image format. The downside of this is it does take a little bit longer to produce. You have to have a camera or a mobile device. You have to take time to edit it and crop it and resize it to make sure it fits the format. And if you really want to stand out on these kind of platforms and with image content, you have to have a higher quality image. On platforms like Instagram, people are using professional photographers and posting those kind of images. And so the image, the selfie of you with your mobile device just like this and not edited and just raw and sticking it up there isn't going to do as well as if you take the time to edit and format and make it look good. So it takes a little bit longer to do an image only post. The next format is a video format. And the benefits of video is that it is available on the most platforms possible. This is where you're going to get platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Vimeo where they only allow video. But a lot of platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram are pushing people now more and more towards video because people tend to consume video more. We're becoming a video consuming generation. You also get more organic reach because as these platforms are pushing people towards video, they're making sure that video shows up more in more people's feeds. So video will get you more organic reach. You also can get more words in a video, in the time frame of the video, than you can in a text-only post. So if it's a more in-depth topic that you want to get more information out, video really is the way to go. Now, the downside to video is that it does require a little bit more time to produce. Now, on platforms like LinkedIn, a lot of people will just do the kind of shoot with your camera, raw, edited, just put it on up there, and they don't take the time to do anything with it. And that's great. That'll work on some platforms. But on other platforms, this style of video is not going to work. Platforms like YouTube, like TikTok, it has to be a little bit more edited, a little bit more thought through than just this. Video also requires captions because most people, when they consume video, they are not consuming video in a place where they can actually listen to it. They are consuming it where they don't want people to hear what they're listening to. They don't have their headphones, they're at work. And so you need to be able to have captions to capture a wider audience to consume your video. It also takes more resources and more tools. You have to have editing software. You have to have a decent camera or a decent cell phone to capture higher quality videos. It also limits people in them being able to consume video. Because you see, if you have a limited mobile plan or your data isn't as strong in certain areas, video isn't going to load. And so you need to think through that as well. But these are the three main content formats that you can create in. Now, I've created a resource that I've linked in the comments below that will kind of break down the pros and cons of each one so that you can make an educated decision on which format to create in. I always recommend mixing it up, doing some text, some video, some image, because what you'll find is that you and your target audience tend to gravitate towards one more than the others, but you're not going to know that until you jump in and start producing content in the different formats. So get creative, try the different formats and see what really works for you and your target audience. And as always, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below or shoot me a message. But for those of you who do produce content on a consistent basis, I'd like to know, how do you choose which format that you're going to create in? Let us know in the comments below so that I can help some of us who are in the early stages of creating content to know which format might be best for them. But as always, I hope you have a great day.